Hello, Julie K here. How are you? I am so glad you've joined me for this video on this beautiful day at James E. Gray Park in Newport Richey, Florida, where I live, like 5 minutes from where I live. Haven't been here since the spring because it was so hot, and now, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful day. And I'm here to share with you the second in this series, this mini series on trouble or suffering, and is God there in the midst of it, and can I trust Him for help? How does God help us through suffering and troubles, hardships, all kinds of words, whatever words you want to use. And I'm going to share some other specific words that we can use here today. So I have three scriptures. One is a repeat from my first video from 2 weeks ago, which please go back and watch that. That is God there in the midst of my trouble? And yes, He is. The word promises that He is. If you're with Him and you have a relationship with Him through Jesus Christ, He's definitely with you. And if you don't yet, and you're not right with God, oh my, please reach out to me. And it is simply crying out to Him to come into your life, accepting what Jesus did on the cross for you and me, and asking Him to forgive us and asking Him to change our lives and come in and be ready to have a relationship with Him. Not be perfect, but to start that relationship with Him and study His Word, which is so awesome. So today I'm going to try to keep this shorter and share with you just, I do have a song. I forgot to mention my song last time, but there's plenty of songs that could go with this message. And but basically I'm going to start with Psalm 71, verse 20. And it says, though you have shown me, the Lord has shown me many troubles, distresses, you will revive me again and bring me up from the depths of the earth. Have you ever felt like you were in a pit, in a hole, or once you thought about it, you thought that's the way you could describe it, that you were just deep down and didn't know if you could ever climb out? I would say that the biggest time that I felt that, even though I had great loss in 2020 with my daughter and grandkids, and that story that you might have heard already, I went through a very, very big marriage crisis in 2017. And my husband and I were apart by law for a year and a half. And especially when it just happened, October 1st of 2017, I would say that was my deepest time of feeling like I was in a pit and what was going to happen and how can I climb out of this thing? And I know that the Lord was with me, and I turned to Him. So you're going to see in this, the next verse that I read, how we have to do something about this to invite God in, because He doesn't push His way in. He's a gentleman. He is gentle. He's there. He created us. He's all around us, but He waits for us to call on Him to step in. So I encourage you to do that. But this is saying that even though like this, David has realized that the Lord was with him. So you have shown me, like, it's not necessarily God caused it, but He was there and He showed us many troubles, distresses. And the other word after that is also distress, but it means evil, misery, injury. And I would say suffering can be put right in there with that, and any other word you can think of. So that when we experience those things, God can still revive us. He can still pull us up out of that pit and make us stand right back up again, and enable us to climb out and bring us out, rescue us out of that pit. That is, I definitely vouch that God can do that, and I know He did that for me in that marriage crisis, and He also did that in a different way through the death of my daughter and having to let go of my grandkids to be adopted out. So I know He can do it for you. So if you get what these Psalms and what David is saying, it's very strong emotions, and despair even can be in there, and all kinds of things. Depression, despair can all be in there with it, and we think, where is God? But we need to believe that He's there with us. So the second verse is Psalm 34, verses 17 through 19. When I cry to the Lord, He hears me and delivers me out of all my troubles, my distresses or my straits. The Lord is near to me when I am brokenhearted or feel like I'm broken in pieces. I can definitely say my heart has felt like it's been broken in pieces. And I've seen him restore my heart. So I can definitely vouch for this verse and how King David believed and also saw God do this for him. And it says, and deliver me when I'm crushed in spirit. Crushed in spirit, like crushed, just like, you know, that can be over a breakup of a relationship, a divorce, a friendship that just ended for whatever reason. All kinds of things that we can be crushed in spirit over. The loss of a loved one, for sure. Many afflictions will happen even when I walk in right standing with him. But the Lord is delivering me out of them all. So the way I worded that is I personalized it to my own declaration. I shared last week a declaration video on suffering and trouble that I actually made last spring and didn't realize that I hadn't, forgot I even made it and didn't realize I hadn't published it yet. So that is on there. Please watch it. Please not, don't just watch it. I speak it slowly and I pause so that you can say it with me, so that you can repeat after me. But it's also here in nature. In fact, it looks like it's a picture, but it really is actually a live video. It's just that the shot that I did of the trees here at this park are barely move. So, but check that out. It's under Declarations by Julie Kettles, and I have several that you can follow along with and speak and repeat after me. So, but the Lord is delivering me out of them all, is what King David said. Delivering me out of them all. So I could go on and on about all the ways God does it, but I know he does it. And that second part says, you know, the Lord is near to me. So he's not just with us, he actually draws near to us if we draw near to him and cry out to him. He can feel even closer when we reach out, or he can feel further away. But he is there, and he will be there, especially if you call on him. If you seek, you will find. If you knock, the door will be open. If you ask, you'll receive, the Bible says. And the third one was from John 16:33, where Jesus promises in this world we will have trouble. He promises we will. But he says, take heart, be of good courage, be even cheerful, and receive joy. And because he has overcome the world, and this is what I say, I've overcome the world because he has, and Jesus wants me to be at peace, so I choose his peace today. But I remember the day that I got, you know, I really began to feel that joy at church in 2020. I don't remember what the date was, and I was like, I just finally felt like dancing again. I hadn't danced, I hadn't signed. If you know me and you look at my channel, you can check out my other videos with interpretive sign language and many different songs. Lauren Daigle, Tasha Layton is my favorite right now, and dances too. So that's part of my calling, it's part of my gifting, but it's what I love to do in worship. Well, it went totally by the wayside with the death of our daughter and all the lockdown, COVID, just everything. No surprise. But I remember that day that all of a sudden I just had that joy back and I was able to start to dance and worship again. So he can restore that joy. More weeping, another verse that I'm thinking of is weeping may remain for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Yeah, that's one that I quote. That's a really good one. So I thought I would do this here today because I wanted to come and have my quiet time here today at the park. And I thought, hey, I'll do this video here. And so that you can see, because part of what God did with me, I don't know that I realized it as strongly with the marriage crisis, but I totally with the loss, the deep loss of my daughter and her kids in 2020 and into 21, plus the whole world being turned upside down with COVID, etc. I just so drew nearer to nature and the Lord through nature, because he's the one that creates the nature. I believe nature is his expression of his love visually, and we can feel it. Like you can hear the breeze right now. It's just beautiful. I've got the river right next to me, the Cody River, and you can hear the birds. It's just so healing. So I believe that when it says that he will deliver us out of them all, and he is near to me. I feel his nearness through the nature. I feel that deliverance and that healing. His healing power has come to me more, which is being in nature. And I love hiking and, just taking walks in it and so forth. And we're going on vacation, my husband, Steve, and I, next week. Finally, it's been actually 2 years since we've had a vacation. For us, that's a lot because we don't spend money on a lot of other things, but we really love our vacation times and going to, a lot of times, to Tennessee. So we are going to get to see the grandkids, and but we're going to do a lot of hiking, and we're going to actually go to Kentucky. So we're excited about that. But I just would encourage you all to go in nature, pray, draw near to God, call out to Him, cry out to Him if you have to. He knows everything you're feeling and everything you're going through. It's no surprise to Him. So I encourage you to do that and to receive His deliverance and His healing power that He can give to you, no matter how deep and dark your situation is. He can pull you up out of that pit. So this is Julie Kay, helping you find your way through grief and loss. Please do go back and watch the first in the series. This always has the name Julie Kettles if you're looking it up, and right now it has the word trouble in it somewhere in the title. So you could put Trouble by Julie Kettles, and you should get this series. And listen to all of them. If you're in this spot right now, listen to all of them. If you're not in this spot and you haven't been through a lot, watch them anyway, because it'll prepare you for situations that you will then go, I remember when Julie said this. So I am a Thrive coach, and I would love to do a free consult with you, 1 whole hour, no obligation, and we can talk about the situation you're in and see if I can help you or refer you out, and go from there. I would love to do that with you. Let me know if you're interested. Signing off, Julie Kay. Bye-bye.